We often need to move data around and make duplicates of data. So I want to show you a variety of tools that you have in Excel which allow you to manipulate data in a sheet. I'm in the file Excel 1 and I'm particularly in the sheet called Clients. And what I want to start with is showing you something called drag and drop. In fact, I might go to the sheet called Sorting a List. Now the idea here with drag and drop is it's a particular mouse pointer. At the moment my mouse pointer, as you can see, is a big white cross. What I'm going to show you is the drag and drop mouse pointer. Let's for example decide that we want to move these home phone numbers. I'm going to highlight with my mouse pointer, which is a big white cross, H1 to H10. Having highlighted this range, I'll then place my mouse on the edge of this range, and my mouse will change from a big white cross to a white arrow with a black four-headed cross. Do you see it here? If I then drag that mouse pointer to the right, I will actually drag those home phone numbers and drop them in I. If I then go to the edge of this area again and get the white arrow with the black four-headed cross and drag to the left, I'll put them back in column H. So sometimes it's nice to be able to just drag data, let me demonstrate, and move things around. You simply highlight, simply drag the edge, and this is what they call drag and drop. And you may need to adjust column widths and row heights. Now besides drag and drop, there's also copy drag and drop. For example, I might decide that I want a copy of this put down below here. So again, I'll highlight one or more cells. I'll go to the edge of the highlighted area and get the white arrow, but then I'll hold the control key. Now when I press the control key, the white arrow changes from being a white arrow with a black four-headed cross to a white arrow with a plus. And I'll hold the control and I'll drag a copy of that data down to here. So drag and drop is to move data, and control or copy drag and drop is to duplicate data. And we can easily just adjust columns and rows. I'm just going to click here above row 1 to select the entire worksheet. I might just widen all the columns. Then I might just double click between, say, rows 2 and 3 to best fit the row height. In fact, I can see it's still not quite wide enough, the columns. So I'll just make the column a little bit wider again. Then I'll double click the line between two row numbers to best fit the height of the rows. And then I'll double click the line between two column letters to best fit the width of the columns. And that just tidies it up a little bit. And then just click to make your highlighting go away. So we've looked at drag and drop and we've looked at copy drag and drop. But sometimes we want to actually move information quite a distance, and to drag it and drop it can be quite tricky if you have to go a decent distance. Excuse me for a minute. So what I'd like to do is take a copy of some information in here, and let's say I want to put it in a new sheet. I might hit this plus here to insert a new sheet, and then I might just call it extra data. I'll go back to sorting a list, and let's say I want to cut this out, so I'll highlight it. And to cut, again, a variety of ways you can cut. You could go for the icon, which is up here on the Home tab. Notice it also mentions the shortcut key, which is Control X, or I could right click and I could choose to cut. Choose one of the methods, whether it's the right click, the shortcut key, or the icon, and cut that data. Now when you cut the data, a wiggle appears around the outside, and in the bottom left of your status bar, you're actually being told what to do next. It says, select your destination and press enter or choose paste. So my destination is the sheet that I created called extra data. I'll select this destination and I want to put it, say, in this cell here. So I click my destination and then I press enter. If I press enter, it's just pasted the information from sorting a list It's cut it out of here, disappeared, and put it into here, extra data. And again, I may have to sort out the columns and the rows. So I'll click above row 1, I'll widen a certain column, then I'll double click between two row numbers to adjust the row height, and then I'll double click between two column letters to adjust the column width. And I can either bring, excuse me, and then bring A only in. So I've cut the data out of the sorting a list and pasted it into extra data. If I need a duplicate of this data, then I don't want to cut, I want to copy. Again, I'll highlight the data. And to make a copy, what I'll do is I'll just hit this button here on my Home tab in the ribbon. Or notice it mentions the shortcut key is Control-C. Alternatively, you could right-click and you could take a copy this way. So I'll take a copy, and again I get the wiggle on, and again in the bottom left of my screen it says select your destination and press enter or choose paste. If I select the destination and press enter, then that's it, done, pasted. But if I choose paste, which is this button here, it means that I could paste it several times. So the enter key pastes once, and the paste button, if I click here and paste again, and click here and paste again, the paste button lets you paste several times. The enter key lets you paste it once. If you find yourself in a situation where you need to get rid of this wiggle, I simply press the escape key on my keyboard, and that makes the wiggle go away. Let's go to a different sheet. Let's go to clients, for example. Now what I'd like to do is do some cutting and pasting in here as well. So to cut is to move, and to copy is to duplicate. Let's say I'd like to move things around. I first of all would like to make last name the first column. Now I've got a variety of options here. Let me show you. First of all, I would perhaps insert a place where column A is. I'm going to right click column A and I'm going to go insert. So now I've made a place for last name. So I could cut the last name out of here. I could go to my destination and press enter. And I've just cut the last name out of there and paste it into here. So I needed to have somewhere to paste it into. And then I could right click column C and I could delete column C. And so I've rearranged the first name and the last name. But it's a bit of a pain to create a place to paste into. What you can do is you can actually insert cut cells or insert copied cells. So I'd like to show you this, and it saves you a bit of time. I'm going to highlight A1 to A14, and I'm going to cut again. But this time I'm going to right click C1 and I'm going to insert the cut cells. When I insert the cut cells instead of paste, it will push region, target, actual and bonus to the right, and it inserts last name immediately after first name. Let's do that again. Let's highlight the first name, data, let's cut it, and I want to put it in between last name and region. So I'll right click region and I'll insert the cut cells, and I've rearranged last name and first name. Have a practice. Now the other thing you can do is you can insert copied cells. So for example, I'm not sure why I would do this in this particular case, but I might select actual, I'll take a copy, I'll right click target, and I'll insert the copied cells. Cancel, let's just do that again. I'll take a copy of that. I might right click region and insert the copied cells. And OK. That's why I say I can't think why I would actually do this in this case. I'm more likely to cut, which is to rearrange things, than to duplicate the actual information again in column C. So I'll click undo. And I'll press the escape key to get rid of the wiggle. Those are your options as far as moving, copying data between and within worksheets.